Good morning to you and a warm welcome to the morning call. Thank you for joining us on the program. Let's start with Cameroon. The leader of one of the country's main opposition parties was released by his captors on Saturday after being abducted by unidentified gunmen in the country's restive anglophone region a day earlier. That was Friday. Now, Fru Ndi, who heads the Social Democratic Front, SDF, and finished runner-up to President Paul Biya in the 2011 election, was taken from his home in the city of Bamenda on Friday, the second time in 2 months he had been kidnapped. As you might know, separatist rebels have been battling government forces for nearly 2 years over perceived marginalization of English speakers by the Central African country's francophone-dominated government.
And Jerry, last April, John Fru Ndi was kidnapped for the first time, and the secessionists demanded that his political party withdraws its members of parliament from the National Assembly and vote in favor of secession, which he has often refused. Let's have more on this from Lambert Guafo, our correspondent in Cameroon. Hello, Lambert.
Bonjour et bonjour à vous sur le plateau.
Thank you for being with us this morning. Tell us, do we know a little more about the circumstances surrounding the kidnapping and release of opposition leader John Fru Ndi? Yes, we know a little more about the circumstances surrounding the kidnapping of Social Democratic Front President John Fru Ndi. He was abducted from his home in Bamenda by an armed secessionist group. John Fru Ndi, who was released yesterday, Sunday, claims to have heard gunshots while lying down in his home. He added that it was when he got up to inquire about the situation that he came face to face with armed men who kidnapped him to a previously unknown destination. John Fru Ndi, who identified his captors as secessionists, says he was maltreated during his arrest, but admits that he was not brutalized during his captivity. It must be recalled that since the eruption of the Anglophone crisis, secessionist militia have multiplied kidnappings, particularly of personalities, against ransoms. And less than a week ago, Archbishop Cornelius Fontem of Bamenda was kidnapped by an armed group and released 12 hours later. In the case of John Fru Ndi, no ransom has been paid, according to the leader.
John Fru Ndi and his SDF party are believed or alleged to be very cooperative with the Cameroonian government. Do you think this could be one of the reasons that may have led to his group being attacked?
According to John Fru Ndi's first statements after his release, there is no doubt that he is being kidnapped for supposed links with the government, according to the English-speaking separatists. Secessionist groups reportedly criticized John Fru Ndi for not supporting the separatist cause since the outbreak of the Anglophone crisis. It should be noted that the leader of the SDF stood against the division of the country in favor of federalism. Political analysts see these kidnappings of the SDF leader, since this is the second kidnapping, with that of April 27, as a means of pressure from separatist groups to force John Fru Ndi to join the separatist cause. He said that his kidnappers asked him to order the members of his political party to withdraw from parliament to protest against the deadlock in the English-speaking regions of the country. Lambert, last question. Where is John Fru Ndi right now, and how does he see his political future? SDF leader John Fru Ndi is currently in his home in Tarikun in Bamenda. He appeared a little weak yesterday upon his release, but in his statements to the press, he expressed great concern about the crisis that continues to shake both English-speaking regions of Cameroon. So John Fru Ndi says he believes in behind-the-scene peace negotiations initiated by the government on the one hand and religious groups on the other. But he regrets that the government is slow to establish the foundations for a real inclusive dialogue between all Cameroonians, including secessionists. So speaking about the Swiss negotiations to facilitate a dialogue between the government and secessionist armed groups, Fru Ndi said he had not been contacted at the time, but says he was ready to intervene if contacted. A very influential, charismatic leader in the English-speaking region, Fru Ndi appears to be a key actor, I should say, in a dialogue for peace that will take place in Cameroon in the coming months. Thank you very much, Lambert, for all the clarifications on the abduction and release of main opposition leader Fru Ndi. Thank you. Thank you, Ruth and Jerry. Have a great day, Lambert. Lambert Guafo is Africanews correspondent in Cameroon.
Thanks indeed to our correspondent there. If you're just joining us, this is the morning call coming to you live here on Africanews. We have other stories making the headlines from across the continent. Up next in the African Journal.